the big debut, and they put me on Memorial Day. Were they trying to tank the ratings on purpose? You know, and we didn't even get to tell the folks, the cult of Cornette that listens to the program, the WWE Network aired my Table for Three with Michael P.S. Hayes and Eric Bischoff this past Monday night after Raw. It was on Memorial Day. Maybe they thought they needed a blockbuster because it was a holiday. I don't know. But they aired the thing. I have not seen it because as we record this program, it was last night is what it was. And I was asleep on my couch well before 11 o'clock Eastern last night. And I have not had time. I've had the yard folks over and I've been doing some business this morning. I have not had time to try to watch it. I will say, I won't mention anybody's names, but a member of the cult of Cornette has clued me in on how to, on the deal to get on the network, but I've never done it before. So I didn't know, I didn't have time this morning until I got on Twitter and found out somehow they trimmed it down. We talked for an hour and a half. We were there for an hour and a half. Well, pithy discussion. We mentioned it here on the program when it originally happened. And I guess the length of the show was 20 minutes. I'm going to have to watch it now to see what isn't there or wasn't there, as the case may be.
Well, that's what I was thinking watching it, because I knew from talking to you and from what you said here on the show about where the conversation in general went. And there were so many things I couldn't tell if it was edited out or if it was a fast cut or if it just wasn't said. For instance, you talk with Bischoff about the only time you ever met him.
Yes.
And about how
that's how we started. That was the first 15 or 20 minutes is how we got off on the wrong foot to begin with. After I told him that you've always been the devil to me because Vince McMahon used to sit there going, he's trying to take all of your job, me and Bruce and everybody around the table. And so, et cetera. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, that was the first 15 or 20 minutes. It was the first 5 minutes, I would say, of the special. And the one part that made me say, ooh, I don't know if this wasn't said or if it was just forgetfulness, but you bring up how the angle with Watts was worked out and then it was edited off TV and you were told by, as you put it, your little birds, yes, that Eric Bischoff had been responsible, along with someone else, for editing it off TV. He denied it. And when you said, well, how come, you didn't deny it?
How come you didn't deny it when I talked to you the first time? You said, well, we thought that, it was a little strong.
Right.
The things you said and et cetera.
I wasn't sure if that was brought up on the air. The fact that you for the casual person watching, you say, how come you didn't deny it? And he says, I didn't see a need to, but he actually did the opposite. He almost admitted it by saying, well, we thought it was a little strong to get on the air. So, some people decided to do that. I remember you telling that story years ago. Bischoff came off all right. He's a mix between charm and bullshit. I thought you came off really good. Michael Hayes was just the referee. He was just plopped in the middle.
Yeah, that's why he was in the middle, I think. And also, they didn't give us steak knives. They only gave us butter knives.
Jim, you saw the Freebirds when they first became the Freebirds. You worked with them at various points, including in WCW. At any of those times, as a fan, as a photographer, and later as a performer, did you ever think in 2017 that is the way Michael Hayes would dress?
No. Honestly, no. Michael, well, he's always had a different fashion sense, and look who's saying that. They used to accuse me of dressing in the dark, an explosion in a Salvation Army Dropbox, etc. But Michael's always had a different fashion sense. But I wish he had worn the bright magenta 3-piece suit with the suit coat sleeves too long that I saw him in one time in a picture. That was that. But anyway,
I don't know. He used to dress like a rock star. Now he dresses like a pimp Boyd Pierce. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, they had that round of budget cuts, so I think he's taking on a second job. He's and hey, pimping ain't easy, especially when Michael takes more care of his hair than the girls do. But anyway, back to the table of three. The point is, apparently it was well received because Twitter just blew up and everybody was loving it. And we were able to find some common ground finally, Eric and I. They got the handshake in. I saw that in the that happened got a little past midway through, I think, probably about 45 minutes in or whatever.
That's the end of the show. That's how the show ends.
What? Jesus Christ. We had a lot more. Well, all right. I don't even remember what order we talked. I guess I'm going to have to watch it now. But